So the Halloween update is finally here in Ghoul Garden, and I figured out how to farm it. Because this guy, this headless horseman right here, this is what we're all after. So I woke up this morning with very little sleep. I was out late playing cards last night, and now I'm just happy to be home when I finally sat down and waited for the mutation event to finish. And finally it arrived, and I learned a few things immediately. First things first, the vendors aren't there all the time. The shops have a 45-minute cooldown, and the jack-o'-lantern has like a 2-hour cooldown. These were very shocking to me, and I didn't know what to make of them. So then I proceeded to go and talk to the old witch lady. Maybe she had an answer that I needed. I quickly realized that she wanted fruits from my garden, so then I knew some testing was required. The first thing I wondered was whether mutations mattered. So I went to my garden and I grabbed a regular coconut as well as a coconut covered in mutations. I was so excited. I walked up to the lady and I gave her my regular coconut, and it gave me very small percentage points. So I thought, okay, I'll give her the mutated one, covered in like 6 mutations, only to discover that I got the same amount of points. It was pretty clear to me that mutations do not matter in this event. So quickly I bolted back to my garden and I went and I grabbed a tomato. Then I went and grabbed a prismatic plant. Now here, there has to be a difference between a tomato and a prismatic plant. I walked up to the old hag and I gave her the tomato to a tiny fraction of a percentage. And then finally, when I handed her the prismatic plant, boom, a ton more percentage. So to me, this event seems fairly simple. You want to hand in the rarest plants possible. Completely doesn't even matter whether it's mutated or not. But then I had a little thought. Sure, mutations don't matter, but what about variants? So I went in my garden and I started searching until I finally found a golden sugar apple. I grabbed it, and then I grabbed a regular sugar apple. And sure enough, when I handed in the regular apple and then handed in the gold one gave me a little bit more percentage. So if you want to min-max, gold and rainbow does matter. But ultimately, the most important thing is to get as many fruits as you can of the highest rarity possible. So I grabbed a whole ton of sugar apples, I grabbed a whole ton of coconuts, and after multiple hand-ins, I finally filled the cauldron. And the fact that you can sometimes get other rewards is the single most important thing to farm eggs. Because the witch's cooldown on her cauldron filling is only 2 minutes. So my first impression so far is that you want to farm this event by handing in your fruits as fast as possible every 2 minutes for a chance at eggs. And it's a pretty good chance too. And we want to do this because the only other way to acquire eggs is waiting for this market to appear in 12 minutes, which I will show you. Inside is a vendor that sells eggs. That vendor only resets that one time. So far, this witch is the source of your progress. Now, we're going to talk about ways to speed this up. We're going to talk about ways to make this easier for you. But ultimately, it's not that hard, and any other method you read or see on the internet right now is just a little bit extra, and it's not really going to save you too much time, depending on your situation, and we'll talk about that. I have 800 plants in my garden. Many of them things like sugar apples, most of them mythical and above. Now, your sugar apples and things like that are not going to re-grow quick enough in the 2 minutes it takes for the cauldron to fire. So without other pets, without anything else going on, what you want to do is fill your inventory with fruits, talk to her, hand them in, fill your cauldron, and get your rewards. And in just a little bit, we will talk about some pets that will help you in this regard, help you do it a little bit faster, especially if you don't have a ton of plants. Now, one small thing that can actually help you with this whole process is to finish your plant achievements. Your plant achievements will give you this statue, and this statue lets you carry 100 extra fruits, which is nice when you're carrying them to the cauldron. And every time you finish your cauldron, submit all your fruits, you receive candy corn as well as a chance at eggs and chests. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna run out of sugar apples really quickly. From there, I'm gonna move on to my other plants. You wanna start with your prismatic plants and move your way down to give your prismatic plants the best chance you can of regrowing as fast as possible. So, what kind of pets are gonna help you? I can name a few. Pets that will help you regrow your plants overall quicker, that will help. Another thing that will help is getting into a server with a bunch of your friends, or even getting into public servers and working together to hand in things every 2 minutes. So just in case you don't have a garden filled with enough fruits to trigger that thing multiple times, getting online and working together will help a ton. Oh, and apparently the great pumpkin seed that we talked about is in the seed shop. I did what? Now, one thing you're going to want to keep in mind is when you fill the cauldron, there's no weather going on. So it's hard to tell whether the cauldron has been filled or not. So be careful, stick around it, because you want to do this every 2 minutes to get your chances at your eggs. Boom, just like that, 2 spooky eggs. Outside of the Halloween market appearing, this is the only way to get eggs. And honestly, giving her fruit, I think, is the fastest way to get eggs in this game. Now, let's talk about it. What pets can you use? What can help you in this whole event? If a focus of yours is spreading variants, something like the cockatrice might help, but personally, I don't think variants make that much of a difference. It does have a chance to make things silver and gold, but like, it's only a few more points, so not that big of a deal. Now, if you have a lot of sugar apples in your garden, because those are one of the best ones to do, they're low to the ground, you can harvest them well. They're prismatic. They give you a lot of points. They grow relatively fast. The apple gazelle allows you to get bonus harvest every time you harvest a sugar apple. So having some of those might be helpful. And other pets you can use in this regard are the giant ant and the red giant ant, because they give you also chances for additional harvests and duplicate harvests every time you pick something up. But really, it's not overly necessary. All you have to do is continually run back to your garden or teleport back to your garden, loot all the fruits that you need to hand into the witch. Mutation doesn't matter, rarity matters. And then from there, you continue to do this every 2 minutes for chances at eggs and candy corn currency. Now the candy corn currency can be used to buy some pretty cool things. And we're going to get into that once the market comes back in just a few minutes. And I've gotten 3 sets of spooky eggs in a row doing the hand-ins for the cauldron. It's so powerful. If we were just picking a handful of fruits or plants to focus on in this event, I would definitely focus on coconuts because you can pack them so tightly together and harvest them so efficiently. I would also do sugar apples if you have a ton of those, because again, you can pack them tightly together and farm them efficiently. Other prismatics like the giant pine cone, it's actually hard to harvest them. And the beanstalks are also kind of hard to harvest as well, having to jump up to get them. Now you could do a tomato method because the tomatoes grow back so quickly. The only problem is they're worth so few points and you need so many of them. So doing the tomato method might be a bit too slow compared to something like mangoes, coconuts, or sugar apples. So it's really going to depend on what you have available to you. If you have 50 sugar apple trees, if you have 100 coconut trees, go ahead and use those. If you don't, use whatever you have in your garden. If you need to do the tomato method, do the tomato method. It doesn't matter. All of these are effective at varying speeds to farm this event, because making this witch's cauldron cook as often as you can every 2 minutes is the best and fastest way to farm eggs. For example, I'm already at 13 eggs. I've only been doing this for a few minutes. Not gonna lie, mangoes work really well too, but then again, the developers gave us like multiple sets of 67 mango seeds, because haha, 67. Now, receiving the eggs is important every time you do this event. But there's another currency you receive, and that is your candy corn. And this is where certain things are going to come in handy. As you can see, it's gone for 45 minutes, but comes back for 15 minutes, and the whole world changes. And in the market, there are 3 things. Over here on the right, you've got devilish decor. And for these 15 minutes, this doesn't change. This is your only opportunity to buy anything in these shops. So I kind of like the skull chain, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to grab that in a second. Then over on this side, you have your spooky seeds. And you want to scroll down and take a look and see, oh, a poison apple. I'm buying the rarest, a prismatic poison apple. Let's go. That's awesome. That's why you farm the event, for the candy corn to do that. And now finally, and most importantly, the pets. Open it up. As you can see, last time I did this, there were 3 eggs in stock. This time I've done this, there are 3 eggs in stock. So far, that seems to be the trend. So which is why I mentioned to you, doing the turn-ins is the fastest way to farm the eggs, because every 45 minutes you only get 3 of them. As for the shop pets, make sure you have a barn owl army. Please. The Reaper's in stock. Oh, bro, I'm getting a Reaper. Let's go. 8 seconds. I can turn in my fruits. I'm going to get my corn. I have enough candy corn to get the Reaper. I'm going to equip my barn owls and I'm getting a Reaper. Oh, that's so cool. Madam, please take my fruits. I need more fruit, 75%. So when I farm up 299 mangoes, it gets me to 75% of the way there. So unless you're farming up 100% prismatic plants, you're gonna need to farm up multiple trips, and that's okay. It's perfectly natural. I mean, the one thing I appreciate is that Channel has decided to make this feel like an OG event, something you can do by yourself, but something that's just faster to do with friends. And sure, getting the pet shop pets are cool, But the best thing to get is the egg. And the fastest way to farm the egg is the turn-ins. 2 more eggs, fantastic, 33 corn. Now I need to switch my barn owls. There's my barn owl army. Look at them go. Please, please get a good trigger on the Grim Reaper. Bye. Please, please, please. Here we go. Click it. I got a 1.8 kilogram trigger, which is decent. I was hoping for, it was a maximum of 3. So it's better, it's above average. And it gave me a 3 kilogram Reaper. Let's go. And one more small little piece of advice. Since you're doing this, since you're picking up all these fruits, you're also working on your battle pass like crazy. I mean, look at all these extra levels from picking up stuff from the battle pass. So you can do both things at once, super efficient. In a future video, I'm gonna talk to you about this jack-o'-lantern, because I still don't know what it does. I haven't seen it in a while. I gotta wait an hour to see it again. That's the Halloween event so far. What do you think, guys?